I don't know if I've ever spoken about it, but the other thing about it is, how do teams give punishments? How do you punish a player? See, you need to maintain a serious amount of discipline. So you have a situation where, you're going literally minute to minute to minute. So now, if a team, guys don't arrive on a team bus on time, you're going to be shambolic. You have flights to catch in an IPL, typical IPL season, and this is not a typical IPL season. You'll be catching 20 flights during that time. You'll be going to practices. The buses will be there. Every day a bus will be there for some reason or the other. So how do you make sure guys come on time? So you give a time, say 5 o'clock. So 5 o'clock, if you don't come, if you have no fine at all, guys will land in 5:10, 5:15. Can't do anything about it. So then you say you put a fine. Say you put $1,000 a minute fine. That sounds like a lot. What is 5,000 rupees for Shahrukh Ganguly or Chris Gayle? Correct? So after a while, we figured out that while the incentive was for an Iqbal Abdullah, that's a lot of money to waste. For a Shahrukh Ganguly, it's a 5 minutes so lete hain. Kya fark padta hai? 5,000 rupees, So then how do you deal with that? So then the final tactics, which was fantastic. So you said, okay, we're going to have, if anyone is late, there's a physical punishment. But here's the catch. The punishment does not happen to the guy who's actually made the infraction. It is to the rest of the team. So it was a very clever one. So suppose say Chris Gayle is 5 minutes late. We all get onto the bus, go to the stadium, and then the coach or captain will ask Chris Gayle, okay, Chris, will the team do 20 push-ups or run around the ground 3 times? He has to decide what they do. So he says, okay, 20 push-ups. So all the other guys, other than Chris Gayle, so Chris Gayle has to stand and watch. All the other guys will do 20 push-ups. Okay? And I can tell you that that's the one thing that stops everyone from coming late. Because what you have done is you have actually made it about being that you become the villain of the team. So you see, so far, you were never bothered about paying a fine yourself. But now here, 25 other guys are doing push-ups because you were late. Changes things immediately. So those are the kind of things a good captain comes up with and thinks through. And a good coach sort of works with him to make these things happen.
I would assume that Kohli would love punishment like this because pura team fit ho raha hai and he would always come late so that everybody gets to do 50 push-ups.
Yeah, like especially if you're a sadistic person. If you're a sadistic person, you make sure you're 15 minutes late just to like listen, I hate to cover this topic, but it's one of my favorite topics right now. I know that you're not supposed to fat shame or whatever, but that who's the West Indian spinner right now? The Cornwall. Yeah, there is no way that he would make it to the Indian team because of the yo-yo test, right? There's absolutely no chance in hell. And so, like, as a like 19 players would be late just to make him do push-ups or run around the ground 3 times, just to see that happen. That's what my assumption is.
But Mumbai Indian also had something similar to the lines of what Joyce has said. Netflix, they made the show because see, people like us get to know about IPL because people like you come or talk, or Netflix pays Mumbai Indian a lot of money. And over there, they had a pajama dress that you had to wear if you were late. So they got a very weird looking shorts and a pajama, and then you have to take your flight in those clothes while everybody else is wearing the proper apparel. So that was the sort of punishment you had.
The Deccan Chargers used to, for a very long time, they used to have, and this is a pretty common one, such a big, huge teddy bear, okay, which the player who committed the most penalties would carry around, and it's the most embarrassing thing. It's a huge teddy bear. It's got red ribbons around it and all, and you're like you're this dude of a player, wearing cool shades and all that. Like teddy bear, pakad kar aap chal rahe ho, but you have to play. The players used to get completely spooked out. Seeing a Hardik Pandya with a teddy bear, poor guy. So that is something that used to also work. See, that's with players. You have to give to them the currency that means something to them. Embarrassments mean something to them. Letting their teammates mean something to them. So a lot of how you inspire players is about how you figuring out how they think, man.
Yeah. And also, I think make it fun as opposed to something like, as you said, the fines are very interesting to me because I was assuming at a time when everybody was at roughly the same pay scale, which is ages back, it would probably work where it's like 500 rupees if you're 10 minutes late. Now, though, it's like virtually impossible.